Hi, my name's Jasmine. I'm 25 years old, a journalist, and a little over 3 months ago I underwent liposuction in my left leg, which was performed by Dr. Lamb. But my lymphedema story started about 14 years earlier when I was in year 6. I noticed a dark-coloured mole on my hip, which was identified as malignant melanoma. It was traced to the lymph nodes in my groin, and my first surgery found it had spread. Next, I had a groin dissection, and shortly after that, I developed lymphedema. I didn't think too much of it at the time, probably mostly because really I didn't understand it. I thought, well, if they're not rushing me back into hospital, it can't be that bad, right? However, it didn't take too long for it to become apparent that it wasn't just me who didn't fully understand it. I remember my mum and I bounced between quite a few specialists trying to figure out what this lymphedema thing meant for me, and the best way was to deal with it. The general gist of what I was told was, you've got it, it's here for life, it's likely it's just going to get worse, and we don't really know what will slow down the process, but here's a few things you can try. As a girl in her early teens, who had just survived cancer and was eager to get on with her life, it's not what I wanted to hear. The treatment at the time was very different to what is available today, and as my leg continued to swell, I found myself avoiding more and more. I avoided sport and eventually cut out any activities which would involve a lot of walking or being on my feet for a long period of time, including my part-time job. If I wore shorts or skirts, I'd catch people looking at my leg. So in new or social situations, I would mostly wear pants, long skirts, or opaque stockings, so it wasn't nearly as noticeable. Shoe shopping often ended in tears. I went to many shopping centres where I've been to every store and found nothing suitable which fit both feet. And then there was the infections. Not long before my HSC, I had my first bout of cellulitis. The frequency of these infections increased over time, and I began to plan my life and my study habits with the knowledge that at any time I could have to drop everything, go to hospital, and then spend a couple of weeks recovering. But I refused to be a couch potato, and I was determined to keep active in whatever way that I could. My physio recommended I try swimming, and I found I could do that with no issues. I started swimming a few times a week, and then through trial and error, discovered I could also do weights. So I stuck with swimming and weights. I made the decision to just get on with my life, and had largely accepted the constraints that lymphedema had placed on me. And then, out of the blue, my partner's uncle, who is also my GP, told me about the clinic after hearing about it at an education seminar. I swiftly booked an appointment and was told I was eligible for liposuction, which would mean I would still have to wear my stocking for the rest of my life, but I was going to do that anyway. But it would improve my mobility and decrease the chances of getting those dreaded infections. I made the decision to go ahead with the surgery, but there was one more hurdle to get over first: the 12-month waiting period on the health insurance policy I was yet to take out. The following 12 months, lymphedema played the biggest role in my life that it had yet. It started out with an infection on the first day of a holiday. I hadn't done anything particularly risky, it was just a hot day. For the next 6 months, I had 5 infections, some triggered by as little as standing up for a couple of hours. This had a massive impact on my freedom and my confidence. Determined to not let it impact too much on my work, on my job, sometimes after I'd taken the antibiotics, which I always had on me, I'd just go to work and hope the symptoms would pass. I would often go to the bathroom a couple of times a day just to check my leg, and I found myself constantly aware and anxious of how my leg was feeling. I went back to the clinic, perhaps a lot later than I should have, and was put on antibiotics until my surgery. Finally, after a year-long countdown, the day for surgery came. I remember the moment I woke up post-surgery, I was just filled with relief. My partner told me later he was feeling a bit nervous coming to see me because he didn't know how I'd be, and then he spotted me. I was scoffing down food with what he tells me is the world's biggest smile on my face. He was impressed. Before my operation, I couldn't do things like go for a short walk around the neighbourhood or mow the lawn without a great deal of worry, and so I just avoided it. Now, thanks to the surgery and the care of the clinic, I don't have to do that anymore. Although, truth is I'm still avoiding mowing the lawn, but now it's by choice. As soon as I could, I started hobbling, then walking, jogging, and trying out a whole new range of sports and activities, which I'd never done before, and I love it. Now with the right management techniques, I can just get on with it. On any given week, I'll go for walks, jogs, cycle, play tennis, swim, and do weights. And on weekends I try to go and explore somewhere new. To put it in perspective, before surgery, I averaged about 4,000 steps a day, and now I do around 11,000. My left leg used to be 20% bigger than the right, and by my 6-week checkup, it was only 3.6% bigger. It has had a big impact on my social life, as I'm spending my weekends out now going for walks in new places with friends, and I'm no longer as restricted in the clothes that I wear. It has drastically improved my well-being and given me the freedom to travel more. In fact, last week I got back from New Zealand, where I was able to go and explore glowworm caves, discover forests, and largely just relax and not have to always pull myself back from whatever it is that I want to do. The team here at Macquarie have been fantastic. They have all been complete professionals, proven they are incredibly knowledgeable, and they have really looked after me and showed they care every step of the way. I still have to wear my stocking, look after my leg, and listen to my body, but the surgery has greatly broadened my horizons. I realise that yes, lymphedema is with me forever, but that doesn't mean it has to dictate my life. Thank you.